Okay.
Now I know when it's.
I think we're actually from somewhere else, so it was definitely,
Yeah.
I don't think that truck.
Because I didn't have any northbound last time. All I had was southbound.
We have to read the whole thing.
Yeah.
Vocational application.
So I printed my PowerPoint and I have my certificate.
And I don't remember if I had read I'm speeding over 15 miles. I don't remember what I did and all that stuff, but he's usually here by now.
You better never be in violation.
I bet. I'm not like, to the grocery store.
Claudia, how are you doing?
Getting you.
I'm okay.
Oh, sorry. And this is Catherine. Catherine, this is Drew. She'll be covering for me if I'm ever out sick or on vacation.
Yeah, I did the same thing in the orders. The last four, sometimes the last
some are
five.
five, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
and do you want me to read the whole address or whatever? Just the case?
Case name and, yeah, then the last, the operative numbers and the case numbers, fine with me, thank you. Same as ones I saw? Same as ones you sent?
Mm-hmm.
I will call us to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and anybody who's going to offer testimony to me today, if you'll just stay standing when we get done with the pledge, I'll swear everybody in at once. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And for those who are giving testimony today, do you all swear from the testimony you give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. Thank you. As a brief introduction, my name is Drew Smith. I am the Code Enforcement Hearing Officer for the City of St. Cloud. We'll also be hearing the school zone speed camera cases today. I am not retained by the city as their lawyer. I'm a private practice attorney who is hired to be an independent trier of fact in these proceedings. So the way both code enforcement cases and speed cases, the way the order will proceed is the city will present its case first. When they're done, the respondent will have an opportunity to cross-examine the witness. If you would, when you come up to the podium, you can stay where you are seated until you come up to the podium when the city is done. But when you come up to the podium, If you would like to ask any questions of the witness, let me know, and then I'll make them available for you to cross-examine. Usually, there's not much cross-examination. Usually, respondents just want to tell me what they want me to hear, which is fine too, and we usually just go straight to that. So, but if you do want to ask questions of the witness, just let me know, and I'll bring them up to the podium so that you can have that cross-examination. And you'll have your opportunity to tell me anything you want me to hear. If you have physical evidence, I'm happy to receive it. Just remember that anything you provide, the city is going to have to keep. So if you're giving me something, make sure that you have a copy to retain for your own records. With that, clerk, you may call the first case.
Notice 3829 Mitchell Daniel Alba, defendant.
And this is case number 3869 or 3829?
29.
Okay. Okay, you can proceed.
On May 9th, 2025, at approximately, Investigator Hostler, St. Cloud Police Department, Traffic Unit. On May 9th, 2025, at approximately 2:39 in the afternoon, there was a gray Nissan four-door bearing Florida tag Bravo Zulu 44 X-ray Kilo that was traveling northbound on Michigan Avenue. It was picked up by one of our speed cameras.
Pull that mic a little bit up closer to your mouth. The clerk's having a hard time picking you up.
It was picked up by the northbound Michigan Avenue speed camera in front of 2588 Michigan Avenue. The speed of the vehicle was 28 miles per hour in a 15 mile per hour zone. So there's the violation information. Here is the first picture that was taken showing the vehicle as it was entering the school zone. The school zone light was active. Here's the second picture where the vehicle is still continuing at 28 miles an hour. There's the tag, which I confirmed and used the information provided through David to verify the owner of the vehicle as Mr. Alba. And then here is a video of the violation. Here is the self-test for the radar unit at that location. It tested itself at 2:20 or at about 2 o'clock, and the violation I just realized I put the wrong notice in here, or the wrong radar test.
Okay.
But
the city has the full book if you'd like to, if that helps you.
Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second. So this is, I have the right radar log. I just have the wrong self-test sheet in the PowerPoint.
Okay.
But I have it available on the
Okay.
So I have the camera log here. The camera was self-tested at 2 in the afternoon. The violation occurred at 2:39, and the camera did a second self-test at 8 o'clock where it passed its own self-test. If you would like, I can bring this up so you can see it, Your Honor.
Accept your testimony.
It was May 9th, the same day as the violation. And then as you can see here, here's the radar certificate showing that the radar has been calibrated within the last year. This one, calibration is from November 8th, 2024. Here is the administrative hearing notification letter. And then the recommendations based on the testimony and video. In this case, it is determined that the respondent or an authorized individual was the operator of the 2019 Nissan with Florida registration Bravo Zulu 44 X-ray Kilo, was driving 28 miles an hour in a 15 mile per hour school zone or school safety zone. It was in violation of the St. Cloud City Ordinance 2024-48. In order for the respondent to be in compliance, and the respondent shall be found in violation of driving more than 10 miles over the speed limit of the school safety zone on a regular scheduled school day, pay the citation cost in the amount of $100 to be paid within 30 days of the written order of the special magistrate. And then here's an administrative cost affidavit. So it would be a total amount for administrative costs of $89.49.
Anything else from the city?
No, sir.
Is Mr. Alba present? You can come on up.
How you doing?
And if you would state your name for me for the record, please.
My name is Christopher Alba.
Okay.
My son is Mitchell Alba.
Okay, so you are here on his behalf today?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The reason is he financed the car under his name. My wife and I drive it. So the one that was driving at the time was myself and my wife. I have another case here before you today. Okay, I just want to avoid any points towards his license in this case. That's all I want, because under his name, I don't want to jeopardize his driver's record. And I'd like to know if anything could be done about reducing the payment. That's it.
Okay.
I'm not here making excuses for myself.
Understood, and I appreciate that. First off, and I'll look to the city's attorney too to verify what I'm going to say. I don't think, as long as the citation is paid, this is not a points. There are no points that come from this. Number one. And so, Mr. Alba, there's actually a statutory process for if there's another driver than the person who cited, and so the only way we can transfer it is to go through that process.
Okay.
So, but then why I wanted to confirm for you that this does not create points on the license.
Okay, no problem.
So, with that said, where I am today, and with the absence of a defense offered, I am going to find in favor of the city. But again, there would not be points on your son, and you can pay that citation for him.
That $100 citation?
The $100 plus costs. Now, I can't reduce, because the statute says if I find that the citation is supported, I shall award both the citation amount and the cost. So I don't have discretion where you're asking for me to exercise discretion. Where I may have some discretion, if the city has no objection, I can give him more time to pay. Does the city have any objection to more time?
And how much is the whole total?
So for one, and I haven't heard the case on the other, but I'm going to assume it's going to be similar. So with the two cases, for one, it's just shy of $190. So you're probably looking at just shy of $380. I don't know what the cost
one
will be.
case only?
For two, rolling them together. So again, if we're looking at, assuming the second case goes the same way the first case goes, that you're probably looking somewhere in the neighborhood of $380 that you need to pay.
Okay.
And I'm willing to give more time on that, and I'm asking you, how much time do you think?
Well,
you
I'm
would
on
need?
disability. I receive a check every third of the month. Right now.
How would 90 days work for you?
90 days will work fine.
Any objection from the city to 90 days? Okay. I haven't heard the second case yet, so I don't know where that one will go, but I assume that I would probably be giving the same time for that second case. Okay. And Mr. Alba, I will invite you up on the next case too. You do not have to come up and say it all over again. Okay. You can stand on what you've said here on this case, but you're welcome to. If you hear something you'd like to rebut. Yes,
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
But that is my ruling on 3829. And before you leave, Mr. Alba, I will have an order for you, so I'm going to fill it out now. I will hold it up here, and before you leave after the second case, I'll just give you both of them, okay? And you can take those. Yes, sir. So I am upholding the citation. going to allow 90 days for payment of the citation. Original citation amount was $100. Awarded costs are $89.49. For a grand total on this case of $189.49. You can call the next.
Notice 7606, Mitchell Daniel Alba, defendant.
Ready?
You may proceed.
Okay. I'm Sergeant Collier with the St. Cloud Police Department. I'm currently assigned to our traffic division. On May 13th, 2025, at approximately 6:32 in the morning, a black Ford four-door bearing Florida tag Quebec Hotel Kilo Hotel 74 passed one of the speed cameras on Michigan Avenue going northbound near St. Cloud High School. The vehicle was doing 31 miles an hour and it posted 15-mile-an-hour school zone with the flashing light. The video evidence was then forwarded to the St. Cloud Police Department for review, and on May 20th, I went and reviewed that information, and the notice that is now up on the screen was sent to the owner of the vehicle. It kind of zooms in a little bit more for people with the bad eyes. Picture of flashing light, vehicle entering a school zone, 31 miles an hour is posted in the top left-hand corner of the screen. Another follow-up picture of it, continuing in through the school zone. Zoom in on the license plate that matches what's on the notice of violation. And then a video of him entering the school zone again with the flashing light. And at the very end, you'll see they finally hit the brakes after the flashing lights of the camera go off. This is the camera log to show that the equipment was working properly. It was tested on May 12th, 2025 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. On the morning of the 13th, the violation happened at 6:32, and then at 8 o'clock in the morning on the same day on the 13th, it passed the inspection again. A certificate showing that, yes, it was calibrated within a year of this violation date. And a notice of hearing that was sent out to the defendant as well when they requested this hearing. And based on the testimony and evidence presented in this case, it's determined the respondent or authorized individual was operating a 22 Ford with the Florida registration of Quebec Hotel Kilo Hotel 74. They were driving 31 miles an hour and it posted 15-mile-an-hour school safety zone. And this is a violation of the City St. Cloud Ordinance 2024-48. We would recommend that he be found in violation of driving more than 10 miles an hour over the speed limit in a school safety zone on a regular scheduled school day. And we would also suggest that he pay the citation amount of $100 and an administrative cost of the $89.49. Originally was saying within 30 days. Obviously, there's some other circumstances here. I don't believe there'd be any objections to anything further, given him 90 days. And then a cost affidavit has also been included in there to show the breakdown.
Anything else from City? Thank you. Anything else you'd like to say, Mr. Alba? Nope? Okay. Then then my ruling will be the same on this case as it was in the last case. I will uphold the citation, allow 90 days for the payment. We'll also award the cost of $89.49 to the city for a grand total of $189.49, again, to be paid within 90 days of today's date. One of those is yours. And Mr. Alba, you can come up and receive your orders, and then you are excused. She has yours.
Have a good day, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Notice 12200, Carlos Eduardo Correa Rodriguez, defendant.
I'm sorry, you may proceed.
Good afternoon, Captain Ed Mateo, St. Cloud Police Department, Special Operations. On 5/19/2025, the vehicle was traveling southbound at Columbia at Lakeview Elementary. I received the information from Vera. I reviewed the video and the photographic evidence. The vehicle was traveling at, what is that, 38? 32 and the 25. It was not during flashing school hours, but it was during the school day, so the cameras were functioning. There we go. 8:36 a.m. and the vehicle was traveling 34. That's not right.
Yeah, it looks like
That's the wrong one.
wrong location.
Yes, sir. That's not the right vehicle either. This is an old case. That's not the right one, sir. Well, it should be 2490.
Third case, which is 2200.
That should be 2490.
Okay, well, that's a different case. So we're talking about this case here.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
is that yours?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go, that's the right.
Yep. There's the report where the vehicle was speeding. Calibration certification, the radar did a self-test before and after the violation. Administrative notice of hearing. We are requesting the operator of the 1995 Chevy with Florida registration, Juliet Zulu 349 X-ray, was driving 36 miles per hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone within violation of St. Cloud City Ordinance 202448. We are requesting that he be found guilty of driving more than 10 miles an hour over the speed limit in a school safety zone on a regular school day, and pay the citation in the amount of $100 to be paid within 30 days, as well as an administrative fee of $89.49.
Anything else from city? Before I excuse the witness, I just want to go over the notice of violation and make sure that we're all looking at the same page. I'm going to ask you to approach and take a look at the notice of violation that was included in my evidence packet today and make sure that this is the correct notice of violation you want me looking at. Thank you. And is Mr. Rodriguez here? No one's here on this case? Okay. Well, absent a petitioner, I will find in favor of the city. I will uphold the citation. I'm sorry, officer, I was focused on the notice of violation. What were the costs incurred on the case?
$100 for the speeding and $89.49 for administrative costs.
Thank you. Order that the citation amount of $100 plus the city's costs incurred in the amount of $89.49 be paid within 30 days of the date of today's hearing. City's copy. I'll mail the respondent or the petitioner since the petitioner is not here. So I have that one. I'll mail out with the other orders from today. You may call the next case.
Notice 2458, Matthew George Marshall, defendant.
You may proceed.
Good afternoon, I'm Officer Manning with the St. Cloud Police Department's Traffic Division. This is notice 2458 for Matthew Marshall. Violation occurred on 5/8 of 2025 for the southbound traffic cameras for school zone, Budinger Avenue at St. Cloud Elementary. This is the notice of violation that was received, and this is the information. So the violation occurred on 5/8/2025. The time was 7:42 in the morning. And this was, again, the southbound Budinger Avenue, St. Cloud Elementary's traffic camera. And the violation speed was 29 miles an hour in a 15-mile-an-hour active school zone. Registration come back to Marshall. And the vehicle is a 2017 Mazda Gray. The license plate number of Juliet Lima Victor Juliet 26. This is the first photo of violation showing that the camera is, the school zone is active, a 15-mile-an-hour zone, and the vehicle entering at 29 miles per hour. This is the second photo taken, still a vehicle at 29 miles per hour in a 15-mile active school zone. This is a close-up of the vehicle to confirm the license plate, which I did confirm was accurate. And this is the video. There's no braking, it's till there. This is the camera log to show that the camera was operating properly that day. It was first deployed at 5/7/2025 at 8 in the morning. Violation occurred at 5/8, 7:42, and it was again checked at 5/8 at 8 p.m. or at 8 a.m. Excuse me. This certification shows that it was checked on November 8th, 2024. This is the administration hearing and notification letter that was sent out. And the staff recommendation is based on the testimony evidence presented in this case, determined that the respondent or an authorized individual was operating the 2017 Mazda, the Florida registration of Juliet Lima Victor Juliet 26. They were driving 29 miles per hour in a 15-mile-an-hour school safety zone, which is a violation of City Ordinance 2024-48.
Anything else from city? Thank you. Mr. Marshall?
How you doing?
All right, how did I do pronouncing that? Did I get it right?
Marshall.
And if you would state it for the record for me. Any words?
Matthew George Marshall.
Thank you.
I thought that all of these were going to be rolled into one when I got this, when I got these, like this hearing in the mail and stuff like that. I'm actually a teacher up in that school. And I've never had any problems in the 15 years I've been teaching there. Okay. Supposedly the city installed these on 4/7, 4/7/25, because I have a school resource officer there. The first time I got my courtesy warning was 5/15/25. All of my citations are on 5/15/25 before. Why wasn't I notified about the citations in April? Because I was talking to my dad. We have a tendency to drive the same way when we're going to work. And if you look there, it's like 30 miles per hour and stuff like that. And like I said, I've been doing the same thing. I've never had any problems or anything like that. And like I said, why was I given the warning on the 15th? Why couldn't the warning have come in April? I would have fixed it if I'd have known I was speeding. But I didn't know I was speeding.
When you say you didn't know you were speeding, what do you mean?
I didn't know. I didn't know there was anything in place that was going to correct what I was doing. I've been taking the same way for 15 years. I never had any problems getting back and forth to school. And honestly, I think it's kind of lazy of the police to use this to try and get people and stuff like that, because I mean,
it's an issue you can take up with the state legislature. The state legislature created the program. I want to understand what you mean when you say you didn't know you were speeding. Did you know you were traveling faster than 15 miles per hour?
I knew I was traveling over 15 miles per hour, but if you look at that lane and stuff like that, there's 2 lanes, and it's 30 up until that spot. And usually there's no lights flashing. And if you look in that picture, there were no kids on there. I teach second grade.
The lights were flashing?
If you look at some of the citations, like my warning and stuff like that, there were no lights flashing.
On this case, do you dispute that the lights were flashing?
I'm sorry, is this a citation on the 8th?
This is six, that's the administrative order.
Yeah, this should have been my warning then.
Would you like them to show the video again so you can see if those lights are flashing?
I'm not disputing the lights were flashing. The thing I'm disputing is the fact that I didn't get my warning until the 15th. So, like I said, I didn't know I was speeding or I was getting a citation.
So that I'm going to ask that question. I want to come back to it with the city.
The lights are flashing in the citation I have. Yes.
Okay. To the question you're asking, though, to make sure I understand the point, you received your warning notice
on the 15th. Yeah.
After these additional citations were issued.
After all the citations, I have one for the. You probably want to take it one citation at a time.
I have to analyze the evidence all at the same time, but I will.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
No. You don't have to apologize at all. I'm happy to receive everything you'd like to say, and I'll apply it to each of the cases, so you don't have to say it over and over and over again.
Okay.
But I will review the evidence for each case, and I'll hold everything you've said into advisement as to the other cases too. But I want to get to this one question as to the notice. Does the city have any response to his question? I understand the point being made is that the point of the warning is to advise people that there's cameras now, be careful, and he got his warning notice after the date of citations. And I know there's a statutory program. I know when the warnings go out is the key, not necessarily when the warnings are received. But I just wanted to see if the city had any response to the argument being raised.
Which notice you're referring to?
Yeah, this one. It says you guys printed this one. Sorry.
Just look at it real quick.
I threw it away because I thought I almost threw it away because I thought it was. I fell for the SunPass scam, when my phone and stuff like that,
yeah.
So I mean, I thought it was a scam until I talked to my school resource officer, And I post dated each of the times that I did get the citations.
So this warning notice is not consistent with the case that's been presented.
Oh, I understand that. I'm assuming the warning notice was from a prior, because I think when those cameras went live, if I remember how the programs work.
Right, there was a warning period. when it
Right,
first
and I'm
put in.
assuming that occurred during the warning
Right,
period.
So I don't remember the exact dates, but the cameras were put up, I believe, in early April. There was at least a 30-day warning period, which expired. I'm going to said it expired after May 2nd, but before May 8th.
And when was that, when was the,
This violation date is May 2nd for and this warning notice for traveling in a speed of 26 and the 15 mile an hour. So this warning notice was during that warning period. However, the violations that the officer testified for were on May 8th, which is a subsequent violation. I mean, there were no warning notices issued, there were just the citation notices.
But if you look at this was issued 5/9/25.
I'm talking about this issue, but
Yeah,
go
yeah,
to the
yeah.
violation.
Okay.
So it
Yeah.
has to do with the violation. He did, during the process, it did work on the dates, but the testimony is that on May 8th, that's when the violation occurred. And, and respectively, I understand his point of not knowing, but light flashing, exceeding the 15 mile an hour speed limit, that's really where the violation resides.
Can I continue to speak?
go ahead.
As far as the citations too, I got the warning notice on the 15th, and then the citations when I was looking at each date were before the 15th, on or before the 15th. So like I said, I didn't know I was speeding.
But you knew you were speeding.
No, but I mean, I didn't know I was being.
You didn't know you were going to
ticketed,
get
yeah.
caught speeding, is what you're telling me.
Well, I didn't know there was anything in place to to stop me. The most important thing I
Right,
care
that's
about.
what you're telling me. You didn't know there was anything in place to penalize you for speeding.
No, I mean I didn't. But like I said, the cops said like they said there was a message sent out in Facebook. I don't check Facebook. To know that there's camera lights going on because I got a 2-year-old at home.
Here's the point that I'm struggling with.
Okay.
What I'm hearing you tell me is I didn't know I couldn't get away with it anymore.
That's that's not what I'm saying.
That's what I'm hearing. Help
Okay.
me understand.
Okay. I just want to say one more thing. And like I said, I got the warning on the 15th. All the citations are on or before the 15th. And that's it.
I understand that. And as you heard, there is by statute, there's a warning period. So what happened with yours is you pretty much got that warning issued the last day of the warning period, and then the next day you did it again was the citations get issued period, which is why I was so focused on understanding your argument, but I can't hear your argument as anything other than, yes, I know the speed limit's 15 when the school's in session. I didn't know I was going to get a ticket for going 30.
Like I said, I've been doing it for 15 years, never had any problems.
And that's why the legislature's done with what they've done, because a lot of people have been doing it for a very long time, and the legislature has finally said enough.
Like I said, I got it on the I got on the 15th. I got 5 citations. All my citations came were posted before I got my warning. That's all I have to say. If I need to pay the fines for these, I'll pay the fines. But I'm a teacher, I got my first paycheck last week. Florida does not care about teachers, but it's okay. It's just our state as a whole, And the fact that my school was in the corner over there shows that the cops don't care either, Sorry, I told my wife I'd take a deep breath. I apologize for my actions.
You don't owe me an apology, and I appreciate that. Based on the evidence, again, you heard it before, the way the statute's written, I don't have discretion. If I find that the evidence supports the violation, I pull at the violation. But again, especially, and I am sorry you have 5 cases today, and I understand you're a teacher, and again, willing to give time. My thought on this one, City? Well, first off, how does 90 days work? Assuming, again, I haven't heard the other 4, so I don't know how they'll go, but assuming they go the similar direction, how does 90 days work for you?
Can I plead guilty on the other 4 and pay my citations and just pay $5.90?
That would be up to the city. Do y'all want to take a minute and discuss that out of my earshot?
I don't think we have authority to be able to do that.
Okay.
And to be consistent with the way the statute reads and how our ordinance reads.
Okay.
I think time is a flexibility. You can give more than 90 days, we'd be okay with that. You can stagger them if you'd like. You know, you can go 30, 60, 90 on the 5 if you want to do that. I'm okay with that.
That last suggestion that one resonates with me. That may be the best one, and essentially means you're paying one citation for the next 5 months, 30, 60, 90, and on out. How does that work for you financially?
Like as far as the citation, so is it gonna be $590?
Each one, I'm gonna guess, again, I don't know what the costs
Okay.
are until it's presented to me. The citation is 100 for each, and then the costs, I'm assuming, are gonna come in around that 89.50 mark again. So we're looking at about 190 each, and so that would push out 5 months for the last one. You're basically paying one a month for 5 months.
Yeah, but basically I'm looking at them as the grant for the citation that I have, basically. So there's no way that they can waive it?
We're not, the city's not one of the ways that you can administer the costs. We've had the hearing, we got it scheduled.
And most of those costs are the officer's costs in getting here, not the cost of the hearing.
Well, that's what I mean, the administrative.
Yeah, no, I was gonna add, no, it was a question, I was kind of thinking out loud to myself. I was thinking the question of, well, if, again, back to the plea, but the costs that are being included in that are the costs to get here, not the costs of being here.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Am I able to fight the ones without flashing lights on them? Because a couple of my citations don't have flashing lights on them.
If the lights were not flashing, then I think that's an evidentiary issue.
Okay.
And again, I'm going to hear each of the cases, so.
Okay,
that's
can
where we
I
are.
give you my evidence?
I'd ask.
Case by case. Yeah,
Okay.
let's wait for each of those cases. So, let me rule on this one. Let's move off to the first one.
Okay.
And then you take a minute and see which ones of those you want, that you believe the lights weren't flashing, and then as we go through them, so you'll
Okay.
I'm not gonna make you come up again. I will ask you if you'd like to come up again for any of the next 4, you're welcome to come up and we can talk more.
Well, can we talk about the warning? Because there was no flashing light for the warning that I was given.
I'm not ruling on the warning today.
But shouldn't the first one be the warning? So, look,
Mr. Smith, if I may, there's no requirement in statute that warnings be provided of any kind in this.
I think, the statute talked about there being a period, but
No, it talks about a warning period before the first.
right, which is where, that's where the statutory, but the lights, whether the lights were flashing before your warning are irrelevant to today, because that warning is not a precondition, that warning that you got is not a precondition to the violations, which is what you're saying.
Exactly, it's a statutory
Yes,
requirement.
I understand.
to let the
No,
public
I
know
understand.
This is what's coming.
So if you were contesting the warning, yes, but there's no requirement that first you send a warning and then you send a citation. It was a warning period. During this period, only warnings go out.
can I contest the warning?
There's no reason to contest the warning because I'm not ruling on the warning.
Okay.
So back to 2458, based on the evidence testimony presented on, that was 2458, right, Chloe?
Yes.
2458, I will uphold the citation. $100 for the citation. It's $89.49 for the cost, grand total of $189.49. Since there are 4 more cases on the agenda with this petitioner, I'm going to hold in advance what I'm going to decide on the timing of everything. So that will be my ruling as to amount. I will decide the timing when we get to the end of the cases, and I may go with the staggered
Yeah,
approach.
As a suggestion.
Okay.
We're okay with staggering, if you want to go one at a time and then extend the day each time.
That's where I'm thinking now, but I kind of want to get through the cases and see how many I'm working with when we get there. So I'm going to hold that for the time being, and then we'll decide on the timing after we get through the rest of the cases for this petitioner. Next case.
Notice 2490, Matthew George Marshall.
Captain Ed Mateo, St. Cloud Police Department Special Operations. On May 9th, 2025 at 7:40 a.m., a gray Honda with Florida license plates Lima Kilo Romeo 25 was traveling southbound on Columbia Avenue in the school zone. The vehicle was traveling at 28 miles an hour and have posted 15 with a flashing yellow light. The vehicle is registered to Mr. Marshall. There's the first photograph, the light's on. There's the information of the violation. There's a second photograph. Close-up of the license plate. And the video.
Yeah, show me the video again.
Yep.
You guys get the guy behind me too?
Okay.
There's an evidence report log. There's a calibration certification. It was calibrated prior to and after the violation was recorded. Notice of hearing. And again, based on the testimony and evidence presented, in this case, Special Magistrate, it is determined that the respondent or authorized individual was the operator of a 2018 Honda with Florida registration Lima Kilo Romeo 25, driving 28 miles per hour in a 15-mile-an-hour school zone in violation of St. Cloud City Ordinance 2024-48. In order for the respondents to be in compliance, the respondent shall be found in violation of driving more than 10 miles over the posted speed limit in a school safety zone on a regular scheduled school day. Pay the amount in the cost of $100 to be paid in 30 days of the special magistrate, as well as the fee of $89.49.
Anything else from city? Mr. Marshall, anything you'd like to add on this case? No? Okay. And based on the evidence testimony I will find in favor of the city, will award 2490, right?
2490, yes.
Uphold total cost, or total citation plus cost, $189.49. I'm gonna wait until we've heard all of the cases for this petitioner until I decide on the timing of payment. We can move on to the next case.
Notice 4835, Matthew George Marshall, defendant.
Proceed.
Captain Ed Mateo, St. Cloud Police Department, Special Operations. On 5/12/2025 at 7:37 a.m., a gray 2018 Honda was traveling southbound on Budinger Avenue. Florida license plates of Lima Kilo Romeo 25. The vehicle was clocked at 29 miles an hour in an active school zone. Should be the video. There's a notice of violation. The radar and camera were calibrated prior to and after the violation. There's a notice of the violation. And again, the operator of the 2018 Honda with Florida registration, Lima Kilo Romeo 25, was driving 29 miles per hour in a posted 15-mile-an-hour school safety zone in violation of City of St. Cloud Ordinance 20248. We ask that the respondent be found in violation of driving more than 10 miles over the speed limit in a school safety zone on a regular scheduled school day. Pay the citation cost in amount of $100 to be paid within 30 days of the written order of the special magistrate, as well as an administrative fee of $89.49.
Anything else from city? Anything you'd like to add on this one, Mr. Marshall? Please, please. First off, what are you showing me?
I'm showing you the citation.
Okay, and tell me what you want me to see, and just go to the podium for a second, let me get you on the microphone.
Okay,
Just follow me. Tell me what you're showing me for.
I'm showing you the lights. The top light's not working and the bottom light's working, so maybe their lights were malfunctioning.
Okay, would you show it to council?
These are the photos of the two different photos of the violation.
Yes, and so I have a photo here, and let me see if it conforms to what's probably in your citation to save you the trouble, and trouble of us making a copy of that. Shows the top light on that speed limit sign is lit, the bottom light is not.
The top light's not lit, but the bottom light's lit.
If you could go to.
I'll get, can we play the video back again, please?
I'm not sure I understand the point, though. There's only one.
One light, I see that in the video.
I think if you look at the photos, the way the camera works is sometimes it catches the light when it's on because the light doesn't stay on solid. It's not a steady light, it's a flashing light.
Understood.
And when the camera pushes it, it may not actually catch the light on the still picture.
So after seeing the video, is there still a point here that you want me to consider?
Like I said, the lights were working, so I just want to make sure the device was working correctly.
And so do I. Yeah, that's why I asked the question. Okay. Seeing the video, do you still maintain that there was a malfunction in the lights?
No,
okay.
I was going by malfunction based on what I saw.
Picture, right.
Yeah, on the picture. Okay.
Thank you. Anything else? No? Okay. 4835? Mm-hmm. Based on the evidence testimony, I will find in favor of the city will uphold the citation. Citation amount of $100, cost of $89.49. Grand total $189.49. I will decide on the timing of payment when we get done with all of Mr. Marshall's cases. You can call the next one, sir.
Notice 7069, Matthew George Marshall, defendant.
You can proceed.
Captain Ed Mateo, St. Cloud Police Department, Special Operations, on May 14th, 2025 at 7:38 a.m. A gray Mazda, Florida license plates JLV J26 was clocked at 32 miles an hour in a posted 15-mile-an-hour zone. Vehicle did come back registered to Mr. Marshall. There's the first photo. There's the violation information. Close-up of the tag. Notice of violation. Calibration certificate. The camera and radar were calibrated prior to and after the offense or the violation. Administrative notification. Based on the testimony and evidence presented in this case, Special Magistrate, it is determined that the respondent or an authorized individual was the operator of a 2017 Mazda with the Florida registration of JLV J26, driving 32 miles an hour in a posted 15-mile-an-hour zone, in violation of the City of St. Cloud City Ordinance 2024-48. In order for the respondent to be in compliance, the respondent shall be found in violation of driving more than 10 miles an hour over the posted speed limit in the school safety zone on a regular scheduled school day. Pay the citation cost in the amount of $100 to be paid within 30 days of the written order of the special magistrate, as well as an administrative fee of $89.49.
Thank you. Anything else, Mr. Marshall? No? Okay. Based on the evidence testimony, find in favor of the city. Uphold the citation in the amount of $100. Award cost the amount of $89.49. We'll discuss one more, and then we'll discuss timing. You can call it.
Notice 8257 Matthew George Marshall, defendant.
Captain Ed Mateo, St. Cloud Police Department, Special Operations, on 5/15/2025 at 7:39 a.m. A 2018 gray Honda, Florida license plates Lima Kilo Romeo Romeo 25 was clocked doing 28 and posted 15. The vehicle is registered to Mr. Marshall. There's the violation information, the tag, and the video. Notice of violation. Calibration certificate, the camera and the radar was calibrated prior to and after the violation was recorded. Notice of hearing. Based on the testimony and evidence presented in this case, Special Magistrate, it is determined that the responder or an authorized individual was the operator of a 2018 Honda with Florida license plate LKRR25, driving 28 miles an hour in a posted 15-mile-an-hour school safety zone in violation of City of St. Cloud City Ordinance 2024-48. In order for the respondent to be in compliance, the respondent shall be found guilty in violation of driving more than 10 miles over the posted speed limit in a school safety zone on a regular scheduled school day, pay the citation cost in the amount of $100 to be paid within 30 days of the written order of the Special Magistrate, as well as an administrative fee of $89.49.
Thank you. Whether you have a defense to this one or not, I want you to come forward. Is there anything you'd like to present in defense on this one?
Yep. This one actually has no lights on it.
Okay, let's watch the video. Seeing the video, do you want to maintain the same defense?
No lights are on.
I understand, but a still photo doesn't capture the flashing light, which they are flashing lights.
Okay, but the photo should catch the flashing lights.
A photo
Am I-
can't-
but
it depends on when that photo is taken as to whether or not
Oh,
it
see,
appears.
I thought the police department could stop it and stuff like that and play it back whenever they wanted to, so that way the lights are flashing.
No, the photos, no, the photos is taken. When you see the flash on the flash out there beyond that, that's when the photo, it's all automatic. So the photo just, it's a matter of when that camera shutters, or I guess however cameras work anymore, and where the light is. But I can see from the video that the light is flashing.
Okay.
Anything else in defense?
No.
Let's talk about timing. I'm inclined, and I want to. It's unfortunate. It is an unfortunate situation, but I can't. There's no defense. I mean, it happened, but I will work on time. I'm tempted to simply say 180 days on each of these and let the petitioner decide which ones they want to pay, but I'm afraid that creates more administrative work for the city and probably more work for you. So would it be easier, first to you, Mr. Marshall, if for me to stagger these and basically have one due every 30 days out for the next 5 months, or just to put one global, everything due by, one date for everything, somewhere about 5 months out?
You know what? They deserve to get paid. Like I said, my defense was with the fact that I didn't get my warning until that date. So I'll pay as early as they want me to pay.
Okay, so if I say 30 days,
Yeah, I can do 30 days.
okay. I'll tell you what, just in case you rethink that, I'm gonna give him 90, and if you wanna pay it tomorrow, you're welcome to pay tomorrow. But that way, if you get home and think, yeah, there's some things coming up that I wasn't thinking about, that way you've got a little bit extra time. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, do you want to pay your administrative costs right now?
No, you can, because they'll actually have to, once my order's entered, they enter it into the system, so the earliest probably you can pay is tomorrow, I'm guessing, or maybe
Once I
even
enter
later.
it in the system, then it'll be available.
Okay, so next week.
Yeah, I think they mail him out,
So I'll get a mailer. Okay.
You'll get the order, well, you'll get the orders here in a minute, and I'll,
but a mailer
finish
from the
conforming
company
these.
that handles.
I see. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, thank you. So what I'm gonna do with each of these then is I'm going to make all of them payable within 90 days. Correct, there are no points. That's 7049. Oops, I'm sorry, let me.
There's one above you.
That's his, I wanted to make sure I got it on both, so start with yours, make sure I have the right years. And Mr. Marshall, you can come and get these, or you can provide. Thank you. Just wait, make sure, is there any questions on the orders before I move on to the next case, Mr. Marshall? Just make sure you can read my chicken scratch, okay?
Yeah, so you guys are gonna send me a bill for the administrative fees, like, that'll be coming next week.
The system will send,
Citations online, $100?
The clerk is saying that, yes, you'll receive a payment notification online, so that'll include each of them will get a notice.
they'll
on.
mail them a notice.
So you'll get a
yeah.
mail notice that will give them payment instructions?
Correct.
So you'll get your payment instructions in the mail, yes, sir?
For both of them, both?
For all,
all
yes,
five.
sir. You'll probably get one for each, is my assumption. Yes, sir, thank you. You can proceed.
Notice 15427, John Caleb Potter, defendant.
Good afternoon, Corporal Reddit with St. Cloud PD, currently assigned to the Traffic Division. On May 21st, 2025, in the southbound lanes of Budinger Ave in front of St. Cloud Elementary, a violation occurred and was captured on the school zone speed cameras. This is a notice of violation that was issued to the respondent. This is a little up close, more of the information. Again, it occurred on 5/21 at 1:45 p.m. for the elementary school. The vehicle was traveling 27 and a 15 in an active school zone by Mr. Potter. The vehicle was 2023 Ford, white in color, bearing Florida tag X-Ray Golf 6 Yankee Lima. This is the first picture. This is the second picture. And you'll see the video. The way the camera didn't capture the light, but you'll see it in the video. This is the tag up close, and again, I ran it to confirm the registered owner, and this is the video. Again, the vehicle was driving 27 and opposed to 15. This is a calibration where it was calibrated before and after the violation occurred. This is the calibration record of the radar. This is the administrative hearing notification letter that was sent to the respondent. Staff recommendation, based on the testimony and evidence presented in this case, Special Magistrate is determined that the respondent or an authorized individual was the operator of the 2023 Ford with Florida registration X-Ray Golf 6 Yankee Lima, driving 27 miles an hour in a posted 15-mile-an-hour school zone in violation of the City of St. Cloud City Ordinance 2024-48. In order for the respondent to be in compliance, the respondent shall be found in violation of driving more than 10 miles over the speed limit in a school safety zone on a regular scheduled school day. Pay the citation cost in the amount of $100 and administrative costs of $89.49 to be paid within 30 days of the written order of the special magistration. And this is the administrative cost affidavit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Mr. Potter present? Anyone in this case? No? Based on the evidence testimony presented, I will find in favor of the city. I will uphold the citation. Amount of $100 for the citation. $89.49 for administrative costs. Order that be paid within 30 days of today's date. And then I will mail that one.
Notice 13471, Gary Valente, defendant.
Ready?
Officer Manning with the St. Cloud Police Department Traffic Division on 5/20/2025 at 4:03 p.m. A red 2015 Nissan entered the southbound lanes of Michigan Avenue, entering the school zone. It was captured on the traffic camera going 28 miles per hour in a 15-mile-per-hour zone. The vehicle is registered to Gary Valente. This is the notice of violation that was sent. This is an up-close of all the violation that I just discussed. This is the first capture. 28 miles per hour entering the school zone. This photo is clearly active. And again, clearly active in this second photo, still at 28 miles per hour. Close-up of the vehicle license plate, which I did confirm. This is the video evidence. Calibrated before and after the violation occurred. This is the confirmation of calibration verification, November 8th, 2024. Administrative hearing notification letter that was sent. And based on the testimony evidence, determined that the operator of the 2015 Nissan bearing Juliet, Quebec, Juliet, Gulf 57 was in fact traveling 28 miles per hour in a 15-mile-per-hour school zone, which is in violation of City Ordinance 2024-48. In order for a respondent to be in compliance, the respondent shall be found in violation of driving more than 10 miles per hour of the speed limit in the school safety zone, regular scheduled school day. Pay the citation cost amount of $100, pay within 30 days of written order from the special magistrate, and with the administrative cost of $89.49.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Valente?
Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Good. And if you would state your name for the record for me.
It's Gary Valente.
Thank you. You can proceed.
Let's see, what I was trying to say is that the vehicle is registered. I am the owner of the vehicle. That doesn't make me the operator of the vehicle. Whoever was driving the vehicle, I didn't speed. I just want to know who, from the city, who was driving the vehicle. You can't just pin it on me because I own the vehicle. I own 3 vehicles that are registered in the state of Florida that are insured.
The state legislature has answered that question for all of us, and
Yeah.
they answered it that the owner of the vehicle is responsible for these violations unless that affidavit that was referenced in the notice that you received is filled out and sent to the city.
In addition, I'd never received any kind of warning notice that this is going
There
to be
is
put
not
up in an area.
there is no requirement of a warning notice. As you heard in the earlier case, there was a warning period. So if you
Okay.
didn't speed through that camera zone during the warning period, you didn't receive a warning.
Yeah, that's my defense. I feel like, I'm not, I own the vehicle, yes. I mean, I have 3 individuals who drive within the household, yes, that is correct.
So for your information, the way that the legislature created this program is the citations go to the registered owner of the vehicle, and they have deemed that the registered owner is responsible for the citation. There is a process, should it happen in the future, there is a process that's both referenced in the notices, but also in the statute that you can look up. So if it does happen where you're not the driver and you receive a citation, fill out that affidavit and get it to the city so that the person who is responsible can be held responsible. But without that affidavit, the registered owner is responsible for the violation.
And in addition, there was a school was not even out. The school was out. It was like 4 o'clock, 4:05 after school was out. It was released.
And the statute, again, there's the period before the school starts and the period after the school is let out is included. So there are buffers on either end of the school day. So it's not necessarily just when school's in session. Depends on when that school day is in relationship to that period before and period after, because the legislature recognizes that the students don't just show up when school starts.
Yeah.
There's a process of getting them in, and there's a process of getting them out, and the legislature wants them to be safe during that period.
I mean, that's all I have. That's just letting you know. I just don't feel like I was not the driver at that time in that vehicle.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean,
And as I stated, though, there's a process for that, and absent that process, I have to hold the owner responsible unless that affidavit was submitted to the city. So if that's the only defense I'm going to find in favor of the city on it. You've heard me ask on the other cases, though, do you need additional time to pay?
I'll take 90 days with
90.
you guys. Yes, sir.
Any objection from the city to 90? No objection received, then I will allow 90, but I will find in favor of the city, I will uphold the citation. Total amount will be $189.49. That is $100 for the citation and $89.49 for the costs. And again, if I didn't say it out loud, I think I did 90 days to pay. Mr. Blunt, you can approach. This is your copy of that. Appreciate it. Back to code enforcement.
Yes, so Mr. Smith, the last case, there's no one here for the next case, but there is someone here for the reduction of fine case.
okay.
Would you like to take that
Yeah,
one first?
that'd be great, thank you.
Case number 2022-2126, Wellstrung Commercial Investment LLC, owner, location of violation, 718 13th Street, St. Cloud, Florida.
And again, Dan Manzares, the city attorney. So this matter involves a lien that's been in place going back to a hearing that was held back in March of 2023. It has to do with unpermitted work, in which case a special magistrate order set a compliance date, set a fine of $100 per day. The property was ultimately brought into compliance in July of this year, so a fine has accrued in the amount of $83,027.90. The city did get a request for reduction of that fine and lien. As you're aware, the process is it's over $50,000, so it's before you for a recommendation. An ultimate final decision will be by the city council. The respondent did request initially that the fine be reduced to the administrative costs, which are $227.90. I believe the respondent had a meeting, or at least one meeting with the city manager. They did not come up to a definitive resolution or settlement. The city manager recommended a reduction to $8,507.90. And the staff is okay with this course, which is a little different. We believe the respondent has tentatively agreed to that, but would like the opportunity to address it with the city council, in which case we are, the city's okay with that course of action also. In other words, we would ask that the special magistrate
Recommend the 850790.
and then move it forward to the city council, and the respondent at that point would, as always, have an opportunity to address it in front of the city council.
Okay.
I believe the respondent is here.
Respondent, coming up. Give me one second. I'm reviewing my order from 2023 to refresh my memory on the case.
Take your time. It's been a while.
Okay, and what is it you'd like me to hear?
Tisha, first, I'm Mark Wells, Levy Liquor, and Wells Strength Commercial Investments. We our Wells Strength, just for the record, Wells Strength Commercial Investments is the entity that owns the property where we operate our business. We are both companies, my wife and I. Just so that there's clarification, there's not a third party who lives outside of our organization, so on and so forth. Chisha has informed me that this is essentially you just moving it down. We really need to take up any further reduction with the city council. I'm aware of that. I have nothing further to add other than the reason. If you'd like to hear the reason we'd like a further reduction.
Go ahead and make
otherwise-
the record for it, so that way when you
Yeah.
tell the city council, you can tell them you told me the same thing.
Excellent, yeah, no worries. It was a perfect storm. March 23rd happened to be the date. We understood just prior to March 23rd that there was a violation. When we received the notice that we had been called into the magistrate, you had ruled, and we had till April to rectify the situation. That same day, on March 23rd, and when we received the email, we informed our contractor, who was the one that pulled the permit. That permit was pulled or applied for in February. He never received the permit. We had contracted with that person, Recon Construction, to do all the permitting for us and then bill us for that, and that was in our contract with them. So on March 23rd, when we received that information, my wife, Dana Wells, who's a partner in the business with me, immediately sent an email to Recon, to Kevin Gomes, and said, hey, take care of this or we're going to sue you. Paid the permit fee of, at that time it was $200, and we received the permit. On that exact same day of March 23rd, Kevin came down to the city and filed for 2 more permits. We heard nothing else at that point. So in our mind, we were like, well, we took care of it before April. We paid for the permit because it was filed for this. 2 more permits were opened on May 23rd, which Kevin never told us about. We weren't aware, shame on us, we were not aware that there were 2 more permits. Now, funny story, because why not have some humor this afternoon? Funny story is, we were talking to Alex Miller maybe a month ago or so, because we had put some stake signs out, road sign, because they're called snipe signs. So we'd put some signs out. She had called us and said we were in violation. I said, well, that's interesting because the code, blah, blah, blah. I thought they weren't. What can we do? Right? So get on the phone with Alex. Alex is like, well, maybe we could do this, maybe we can do it. Very helpful. We're just trying to get more foot traffic in our store. Turns out, she says, hey, you're in violation. You have a lien against your property, to which she says, Claudia will give you a call. A week ahead of that conversation, I was downstairs getting our business license renewed. And as we were getting our business license renewed, I can't remember the gal's name, forgive me.
It's okay.
In the back.
I just want to understand what the position is. So you don't have to give me chapter and verse specifics.
So the gal in the back, she says, hey, we have a couple of permits you need to pay for a sign. And I was in paying for my license. I said, interesting. She comes, she says, it's $400 for these. I said, okay, do you take card? No, take a check. Okay. I said, well, let me run back to my shop. She goes, you don't have to pay for them right now. I'm like, no, I'll take care of it. Go back to my shop, write a check for $400, pay for the permits, right? Didn't know that they were there. Paid for the permits, then get on the phone, find out, bam, $83,000. So it just seems to me that there was this absolute perfect storm where we didn't know. We have always been advocating, we're good corporate citizens. All we're doing is saying, hey, I know that it was a thing. If there was we want to pay for any damages, but at the same time, it's a lot of money for us, and that's where we're at.
I get it. So I have one question, and really it's for both of you. So I just want to make sure that I'm understanding what's being presented to me, because I think what I'm hearing both from the city and from the respondent is that, yes, in order to get to the final decision maker, you're both presenting the 850790, but both of you are presenting with the expectation that respondent will have the opportunity to present their rationale for reduction to the city council.
That's correct.
I will reference that in my order, because what I want to make sure doesn't happen is it gets to council, well, the magistrate recommended this, why are you presenting more to us? I want to make sure that it was very clearly presented to me that we would like to move to the city council, we need your recommendation, so we'll consent to this as a worst-case scenario,
Yes, sir.
but you have further arguments you would like the city council
Yes,
to
sir.
hear, and I just want to make sure that's very clear in my order, that the expectation is there will be arguments presented.
Well, sure, we're just trying to fit in the process that's been established where ultimately the city council is
Understood.
going to make the decision,
Yep.
whatever the amount is.
Yep. Understood. I just know that sometimes recommendations come, whether it's from a board or a magistrate, whatever. Sometimes recommendations come, and it's hard to overcome that recommendation when it gets there, and I don't want to create that situation. Since both parties are saying to me, we want the city commission to be able to hear his argument and reduce further if they want to. Sure. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That was it. Then, based on everything presented to me, I will enter that order. I will recommend 850790, but I will include the caveat that there is an expectation that city council will hear your story.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Case number 2025-356, Jason Basurto, owner, location of violation, 1514 California Avenue, St. Cloud, Florida.
Good afternoon, Pam Neal, City of St. Cloud Code Enforcement Officer. I am presenting this case for the property located at 1514 California Avenue. At this time, I would like to enter into evidence the following items: copy of the code compliance observation notice issued to the owner, copy of the courtesy notice sent to the owner, a copy of the notice violation sent by certified mail to the owner, copy of the statement of violation and notice of hearing sent to the owner and posted on the property and City Hall, copy of the affidavit of posting, copy of the PowerPoint presentation, evidence of mailings, copy of the deed to the property, copy of the code section in violation, copy of the cost incurred if the special magistrate finds the respondent in violation in the amount of $258.87. The respondent is not here. On April 16th, 2025, I received a complaint on this location for high grass and weeds and tree debris. On April 16th, I went to verify, and the grass was high, and there were large piles of tree debris in the rear yard. A code compliance observation notice was issued to the owner. On May 14th, a reinspection was performed, and the grass and weeds were mowed, and the tree debris was removed. I did notice that there were 3 expired permits as of June 8th of 2024. On May 14th, the courtesy notice was sent to the owner. On June 2nd, a reinspection was performed and the permits were still expired. On June 2nd, a notice violation was sent to the owner by certified mail. On July 17th, a reinspection was performed and the permits were still expired. On July 18th, a statement of violation and notice of hearing was sent to the owner by certified mail, posted on the property and City Hall. An affidavit of posting was completed, and 2 photos were taken. On August 15th, the reinspection was performed, and the permits were still expired, and I have not had any contact with the owner. I did go by on the 15th and take one more photo, just showing that they were still there. It is the city's recommendation that the respondent be found in violation of allowing all 3 permits to expire at this location and to have the permits obtained by September 5th, 2025, or pay a fine of $250 a day until compliance is met. The city would like to also recover the cost incurred in bringing this case before the special magistrate in the amount of $258.87. to be paid within 7 days of the written order of the magistrate as well. And that completes my presentation.
And just one question, I think your last photograph answered it for me, but the work was completed. The work that was in the permits, they did actually do the work.
Yes.
Okay. And looks like maybe they just didn't get it finalized out?
Right. They didn't have any inspection, if I remember right. And there was 3, was for walls and siding, the 5 windows and door, and then the 2 mini splits. Was the 3 permits.
I got that. For the benefit, I'm just trying to, so assuming that the respondent receives the order in the mail, I want to make sure they understand what they need to do. So do they need to call the building department to call in finals? Is it as simple as that?
Well, with it being in 24, they might make them just resubmit. I'm not sure, though. That's
Okay.
really up to the building department.
Okay, but they need to contact the building department. I'm just trying to give
Yes,
them
sir.
some prompt to help them hopefully avoid getting penalties. Other than that question, and there's no respondent present?
No, sir.
Based on the evidence testimony presented, I'll find in favor of the city, order the respondent to cure the violations on or before September 5th, 2025. I will include language in the order telling them they need to contact the building department to get those to figure out what they need to do with those permits to get them either reactivated and finalized one way or another. I'll also order the respondent to pay the administrative costs in the amount of $258.87. I'm gonna go ahead and tie that to the September 5th date, make it easier since they're not here, and so order those costs payable by September 5th, which is the same as their compliance date. Anything else from the city? No, sir. Thank you.
Unfinished business, none. New business, none. Next scheduled meeting, September 17, 2025.
And before you drop, just a little heads up, the council chambers is going to be under significant renovation. So next month, we will be meeting here, but your October meeting will be in a different location.
Okay.
We're trying to work in confirming that, what location it is we're working on right now. So,
Okay.
So,
as we were going through the speeding camera cases, just terminology, and I was reviewing the order as I was preparing those draft orders, reviewing the order, and I note that by statute, in those processes, the person challenging the speeding ticket is referred to as the petitioner, and so I have made in my orders petitioner and respondent, city as respondent in those cases. The officers will present how the officers present, just letting you know if they were still here, I was going to let everybody know, just so they can work on terminology so we can all be singing off the same music as we work through these.
absolutely, we'll work on that, Mr.
They're not
Smith.
truly defendants, they are petitioners by
Right, exactly.
statute. It does not create a problem here, just eventually as we get used to them, I'm sure we'll.
Yeah,
all
we're going to
eventually
clean up,
get
we'll
there.
clean up that PowerPoint a little bit.
Yes, sir, yeah. Yeah, I thought it went pretty smoothly, actually. For the first real, true run. Last month was a test run. Anything else from the city?
No, sir.
Clerk, anything? No. And I think I owe you that one? Yeah, okay. Then I will adjourn.